eti wewe sasa unaanza
So I ask myself, what does this government want?
So I asked President William Ruto.
Let me take you on a journey back into the dark corridors of political power, where threats linger and personal ambitions play out like a high-stakes game of chess. Today we dig into Kenya's relentless politics of score settling, where power is not just wielded but weaponized. The ghost of political assassination and harassment has once again stirred, reminding us of an uncomfortable reality. In this theatre of power, no score goes unsettled. Our newest player in this deadly game, impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. After a bitter fallout with his boss, the once close ally has pulled a card that's all too familiar in Kenya's political landscape. But there's more to this than just a simple accusation. This is a pattern, one that stretches far beyond this single moment. You see, Kenya's political scene has long been littered with whispers and open allegations of sitting presidents using the executive arm of power to settle personal grievances. These accusations aren't new, they've just circled back, like a haunting refrain that won't fade away. It's a pattern that cycles from one leader to the next, growing more dramatic with each iteration. Now it's Mr. Gachagua's turn in the spotlight, with his accusations ringing loud and clear. But let's not forget, before him, there was another. The political stage had already been set between 2022 and 2024, and it was a battle that involved the very top, outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta, President William Ruto, and none other than Mr. Gachagua himself. In fact, President Ruto, when he was deputy president, was the first high-profile figure to bring these explosive claims into the public eye. At the height of his ugly fallout with Mr. Kenyatta ahead of the 2022 elections, Ruto didn't hold back. He accused his boss of plotting not just political sabotage, but something far darker. He claimed that his family and even his own life were under threat. And in that moment, the stage was set for a bitter contest of power and survival.
A lot of respect, my friend, Mr. President. Please, be a decent human being. Kuwa mungwana. Kuwa na shukurani. Sisi ndio tulikusaidia. Waja kujifanya saizi eti sijui unajifanya nini. Please, ama niaje my friend. Sasa eti wewe sasa unaanza kunithreaten mimi. Ati utanifanya nini? Bora usiue watoto wangu. Lakini mimi na wewe tafadhali tuheshimiane.
Fast forward to today, and the tables have turned. The hunter has become the hunted. Now that President Ruto holds the seat of power, it is Mr. Kenyatta who is pointing fingers. In a shocking reversal, Kenyatta has publicly called on Ruto to leave his children alone, implying that they too were being targeted in the very game of political score settling that Ruto had once lamented.
I have people who have been guarding my mother for the last almost 50 years, withdrawn at night. I have now a situation where my son's home is being raided for things that I don't understand. So I ask myself, what does this government want? Because if it wants me, the fact that I've been silent doesn't mean I'm scared. Come for me. What does my mother have to do with anything? What does my children have to do with anything? Kama shida yenu ni mimi, I'm here. Right?
And yet, the story doesn't end there. Enter Rigathi Gachagua, a man who stood by President Ruto's side since 2017. Now it seems he's taken a page from the same playbook. Last Sunday, in an emotional and dramatic declaration, Gachagua made a startling claim. He had survived not one, but 2 assassination attempts. Both, he insists, were through food poisoning. Both, he claims, were orchestrated by forces within the very government he once served. Gachagua pointed fingers at none other than the National Intelligence Service, NIS, accusing them of being the agents of his would-be demise. He alleged that these attempts took place in late August and early September this year. But fortunately for him, both were thwarted.
So, Rigathi Gachagua and his family feel very exposed because these people have tried to kill us before. They have now tried to get us out of office. So I asked President William Ruto, my brother, I helped you to be president. Leave me alone. Leave my children alone. Do whatever you want, but let me live.
It's a grim narrative, isn't it? This is no mere political disagreement. This is a story where lives are at stake, where political rivalries are not settled with words, but with threats to one's very survival. Gachagua's accusations have left the nation on edge. If true, these claims suggest a chilling trend where political opponents are eliminated not through electoral defeat or strategic maneuvering, but by force. And if false, they reveal a dangerous game of paranoia and public manipulation, where leaders leverage fear to gain political mileage. As the dust settles from Gachagua's public outcry, one question lingers. Is this the truth? Or is it another calculated move in the deadly chess game of Kenyan politics? If you thought the accusations were dramatic before, hold on, because what you're about to hear will take this story to a whole new level. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's claims didn't stop at mere allegations of political harassment. No, what he described next was far more chilling, a plot to take his life. He spoke of undercover agents, secret missions, and food poisoning, an age-old method used in countless power struggles throughout history. Picture this. It was August 30th, 2024. Kisumu. Gachagua alleges that while he was resting in his room, undercover security agents trained to operate in the shadows, entered the very space where he should have felt safe. They didn't just bug his room. One of them, he claims, attempted to poison his food. Can you imagine? The simple act of eating, something we do without a second thought, becoming the weapon of choice in a plot to end his life. But Gachagua says he caught wind of the plan. He and his team discovered the plot and managed to escape before it was too late. According to him, it was supposed to be a silent kill. He was meant to die by food poisoning. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it does. Less than a week later, on September 3rd, another attempt was made. This time, the scene was Nyeri. Gachagua claims a second team, also from the National Intelligence Service, NIS, attempted the same deadly tactic. Only this time it wasn't just him in the crosshairs. The food they allegedly targeted was meant not only for Gachagua, but also for the Kikuyu Council of Elders, a group with deep ties to the region's leadership and culture. In Gachagua's mind, these assassination attempts weren't just about eliminating him physically. They were paving the way for something even larger, his impeachment. And soon after, the political machine moved into action. But the story doesn't end there. The narrative now turns to betrayal, a bitter, personal betrayal. Gachagua painted a damning picture of President William Ruto, the very man he once stood beside, a man he helped ascend to the highest office in the land. In his eyes, Ruto had turned into a traitor, capable of the worst. This wasn't just political revenge, Gachagua suggested. This was personal. As he lay fighting for his life in a hospital bed, Gachagua revealed that his security had been withdrawn. His personal officers, those entrusted with his safety, were sent on forced leave. Official transport, gone. The safety net that any high-ranking official would expect had suddenly disappeared. Imagine lying vulnerable in a hospital, and yet even then, Gachagua claims he wasn't safe. Agents, whom he believes were from the NIS, were reportedly searching for him, lurking around the hospital grounds, watching every movement. They were waiting for something, perhaps waiting for him to slip up, waiting for the right moment. It was a game of life and death, and according to Gachagua, he was playing with no protection. "It is unfortunate," Gachagua said, "that my brother has ordered the withdrawal of my security from the hospital. I have been here without a single officer." Even his rural home in Nyeri was left unguarded, his home in Karen, Nairobi, no security either. He was, as he described it, completely exposed, but it was his next statement that revealed the depth of his disillusionment with President Ruto. "I did not know that President William Ruto could be so vicious," Gachagua declared. I am shocked that a man I helped become president, a man I believed in and was persecuted for supporting, could be so vicious to me when I am literally fighting for my life in hospital. How cruel can one man be? It's a harrowing question, isn't it? This is where politics of score settling reaches its most dangerous point, when personal lives are dragged into the fray. It's no longer about policies or governance, it's about survival, legacy, and deeply personal grudges. As we stand at the crossroads of Gachagua's accusations and Kenya's political future, one can't help but wonder, how far will this cycle go? Is this just another chapter in the endless saga of power struggles? Or are we witnessing the beginning of something even more sinister? We've heard the warnings, seen the threats, and watched as powerful men clash over their legacies. But what happens next? How far will these power plays go before someone crosses the line that can never be uncrossed? Stay tuned, the story isn't over yet. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the politics of score settling. This story is still unfolding, and we'll be keeping a close eye on the next chapter. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think will happen next in Kenya's political scene? And what does this cycle of power struggles mean for the country's future? Until next time, this is Peter Tosh Williams from LifeLens TV. Stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, the power belongs to the people.